Today, we are talking about the biggest Hollywood story in years, a real corporate war playing out in real time. Netflix wants Warner Brothers Discovery. Paramount and Skydance want Warner Brothers Discovery even more. And shareholders, regulators, creators, and fans are all caught in the middle. This is not just a streaming story. This is not just a theater story. This is about the control of Hollywood itself. And by the time this deal is done, the entertainment industry might look completely different. So let us break down what is happening, why it matters, and what it means for the future of film, streaming, television, and global entertainment. To understand the chaos, we need to go back to the financial situation inside Warner Brothers Discovery. Warner Brothers Discovery is one of the most iconic companies in Hollywood. They control legendary IP. They own HBO. They own Warner Brothers Pictures. They own CNN and Discovery. They own DC, but they also carry one of the biggest debt loads in the entire media industry. Tens of billions in debt, high interest rates, and a streaming business that has been losing money for years. To stay afloat, Warner has been cutting costs, removing shows, restructuring divisions, and licensing content out to rival platforms. And one of those rivals was Netflix. It started with Netflix licensing HBO content. Then they licensed more series, then more library content. And that raised eyebrows across the entire industry. Why would Warner lend out its crown jewels to its biggest competitor? Because when a company is desperate for cash flow, licensing becomes a lifeline. And once Netflix got a taste of Warner content, they did not want to stop there. Last week, Netflix shocked Hollywood by agreeing to acquire the studios and streaming division of Warner Brothers Discovery. The deal would give Netflix control over the entire Warner Brothers film studio. It would give them HBO, it would give them Max, it would give them Warner Television, and it would give them one of the strongest content libraries in the world. Reuters reported that the full value of the deal, including debt, was over $80 billion. This would instantly make Netflix the most powerful entertainment company on the planet. Think about it. Netflix would own Harry Potter. Netflix would own the DC universe. Netflix would own Dune. Netflix would own The Conjuring. Netflix would own Looney Tunes. Netflix would also control HBO, the brand that defined prestige television. Netflix would get something it has always wanted, a real film studio, a real theatrical arm, real blockbuster potential. And for the first time ever, Netflix would not just be a streaming service, they would be a fully integrated Hollywood giant. But before the ink even dried, someone else stepped into the ring. Just days after Netflix announced this deal, Paramount and Skydance launched a direct hostile takeover attempt for the entire Warner Brothers Discovery empire. Not just the studios, not just the streaming services, the entire company. Their offer was $108 billion, including debt, a full cash bid. $30 per share, a number that was far higher than Netflix's studio-centered offer. CNBC, Reuters, and the Financial Times all described it the same way. It was aggressive, it was unexpected, and it completely changed the power dynamics. Skydance is not a small player. They have major tech money behind them. They are tied to big action franchises like Mission Impossible and Top Gun. They have already tried to merge with Paramount earlier this year. They want to become a modern mega studio, and their strategy is simple. If Netflix wants just the studio and streaming arm, then Skydance wants the whole throne. This includes the film studio, the streaming businesses, the cable networks, the news division, the sports rights, the international channels, everything. This is why analysts call it a direct challenge, a media war, a fight for the future structure of Hollywood. When a hostile takeover launches just days after a signed deal, it signals one thing: someone really wants to stop Netflix. Now we need to break down the two visions, because Netflix and Skydance do not want the same kind of Hollywood. Netflix wants a global streaming empire with an unmatched library. They want control of blockbuster franchises. They want complete ownership of the content they distribute. They want a theatrical pipeline to support their streaming model. And they want to eliminate the constant licensing battles. If Netflix wins this war, the future of Hollywood becomes streaming-centered, with theaters used as an event model. Less cable, less network television, more digital distribution. And a future where global streaming is the main battlefield. Skydance and Paramount want something different. They want to return to a modernized version of the classic Hollywood empire, a combined film studio, streaming platforms, cable networks, sports, news coverage, and global linear channels. They want to restore the old studio power model, but updated with tech, money, and aggressive expansion. If Skydance wins, Hollywood becomes a world with fewer but stronger mega studios that control everything from theaters to cable to news networks to streaming. This difference matters because the winner gets to decide how movies get made, how they get released, how creators get paid, and how consumers get their entertainment. Now here's where things get even more complicated. The United States government has been extremely cautious about large media mergers. The FTC has blocked or challenged deals far smaller than this, and a Netflix buyout of a major Hollywood studio raises direct questions. Is Netflix becoming too powerful? Would they control too much streaming access? Would they control too many franchises? Would it harm competition? On the other side, Skydance buying all of Warner Brothers Discovery creates its own issues. Would one company controlling major film studios, plus cable networks, plus streaming, reduce consumer choice? Would it create too much influence over news? Would it limit theatrical competition? Regulators will not choose based on fandom. They will choose based on competition, consumer impact, and market stability. And both deals raise serious questions. This is why analysts believe this war will take months to play out. No matter who wins the bidding war, the government still has the final say. So what does this mean for theaters? Surprisingly, theaters might benefit no matter which side wins. If Netflix wins, they finally get a theatrical arm. They will want to maximize box office revenue. They will want global releases. They will want long-tail income. They will want prestige awards. Netflix has already learned that some movies simply work better in theaters first. If Skydance wins, they are heavily invested in theatrical franchises. They make blockbuster cinema, Mission Impossible, Top Gun. They want big releases and big box office numbers. Both sides demand strong theater presence. So theaters, in some ways, and in my opinion, are the silent winners of this war. The era of streaming exclusives is fading. Streaming alone does not pay for itself. Theaters still matter, and this war proves it. Consumers are also heavily impacted. If Netflix buys Warner Brothers Studios, then HBO content and DC content and huge Warner franchises would be locked into Netflix long term. This means fewer platforms to subscribe to, but it also means one company controlling a massive amount of content. Some people will love that, some will hate it. If Skydance wins, it likely accelerates industry consolidation. Cable networks might merge into streaming bundles, studios might combine. We might see a future where 5 or 6 companies shrink into 3 giants. Less fragmentation, but also less diversity. Each path has benefits and risks. Here are the 3 possible outcomes analysts believe could happen. Outcome 1, Netflix keeps its deal. Regulators approve, and they acquire the Warner Brothers Studios and streaming arm. This gives Netflix unprecedented power and changes streaming forever. Outcome 2, the Skydance and Paramount hostile takeover succeeds. They outbid Netflix, they buy the entire Warner empire, they merge it with their own operations. This becomes a new mega studio that rivals Disney on every front. Outcome 3, regulators block one or both deals. The company is forced to break up or sell off pieces. Studios could go one direction, television networks another, streaming another. This would create a fragmented but more competitive landscape. Each scenario reshapes Hollywood in a different way. Here's the truth. We are living through a once-in-a-generation Hollywood shift. Something this big has not happened since Disney bought Fox, and the decisions made in the next few months will determine who controls the future of entertainment for decades. Netflix wants global streaming dominance. Skydance wants a new era of mega studios. Regulators want competition and stability. Shareholders want maximum value. Creators want opportunity. Audiences want choice. There is no single right answer. There is only change. And when the dust settles, the Hollywood we knew will not be the Hollywood we get. This story is still unfolding, and we will keep watching it together. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you hit like so the video reaches more people. Drop a comment and tell me who you think wins this Hollywood power war. Is it Netflix? Is it Skydance? Or do you think regulators shut everything down? I read every single comment and I reply to as many as I can, so let me know your take. If you want to stay ahead of the next big shift in gaming, movies, and the entire entertainment world, subscribe to the channel. We have more deep dives on the way, and thanks for watching. Take care, stay curious, and I will see you in the next one.